Hey guys, welcome back. Today I just want to take a little time to talk about what is money. Sometimes I think we all kind of get a gist of what money is. It's something you just kind of, go to your wallet and take it out, piece of paper, a banknote, and then just go ahead and spend it on something, buy a coffee or something. But I really want to talk about money because, when I was growing up, I never knew what money really is. Nobody really talked about money. They don't talk about money in school. So even in my family, friends, it's like a big taboo subject for some reason, and nobody told me anything about money except for, oh, hey, let's go out and then spend some. So I want to take this opportunity, this time for this video, and really take a little deep dive on, well, what is money? So here we go. Hey guys, so I must throw a question out there. So, what is money? As I said in the introduction, it's just we all kind of get an idea of money. Just banknotes. You got paper money here. They just take out from our wallet and spend it. But then we got like things like, well, credit card, right? We just spend it with a swipe of a card. Actually, we don't in Hong Kong. We don't even use the magnetic strip that much anymore. They just kind of use this. They just scan it. Then you got something like the Octopus card in here in Hong Kong. You got like the digital payment, Apple Pay. So money has really changed. So what is money then? So I decided to just go online, just do a quick search on the definition, and according to Investopedia, one of my favorite sites to learn about investing, no affiliation by the way. So Investopedia says that money is an economic unit that functions as a general recognized medium of exchange for transactional purposes in an economy. That's kind of very, how would you put it, dictionary-y. So I want to make it, I want to find something a little bit more clear, and I actually came across this here from Mike Maloney. He's a YouTuber. He's into gold and silver. Okay, you can find his videos on YouTube. But his definition of, I'm not suggesting you guys to go buy gold and silver. By the way, okay, I'm just saying that this guy's definition is very good, I thought. So according to Mike Maloney, his definition is money is a storage of our time and energy / knowledge for later use. That actually kind of made a lot of sense to me, because how do we get our money? Okay, we get our money through working through our jobs. We get an income for that. So for our job, we have to put in our time and effort. Sometimes it could be some with our knowledge, or it could be just manpower itself. I mean, think about it. If you're a lawyer, you know the law better than anybody else, and you're getting paid, a higher salary compared to, say, somebody that just work at a grocery store, which use physical labor and needs a little less knowledge. So if you're a doctor or a surgeon, you go into the hospital and do a surgery. Of course, that takes up your time and your energy, and obviously your knowledge also. And then we pay the doctor to do this, and that's his storage of his time and energy. And you can also think of when we purchase something, we buy something for a service. You go for a haircut. The person cutting your hair, the barber, they have to take out their time and energy and knowledge, to give you the service, and then we pay them so they could store that, and then they can use it for something else. Other examples might be just buying like a phone, a wallet. Somebody had to make one of these phones. The designer goes into it, there's the manufacturer that goes into it, the parts that goes into it, the assembly, the packaging, the shipping. So we pay for all this. They use their time, energy, and know-how or knowledge for all this to happen. So I think that's a very good definition of money. Money is our storage of our time and energy or knowledge for later use. So with that in mind, I want to go a little deeper to the next topic of money. So the uses of money. Okay, so in general, when I looked up online, there are like 3 basic uses of money, say. So you can either spend it, save it, invest it. But I added one more actually. So first you could spend it, getting something we need to survive. In my own definition, okay? Spending money means getting something we need to survive. Food, clothing, shelter, maybe a car to drive to work, cleaning product, I don't know, toilet paper. As we see with COVID-19, toilet paper is a hot commodity. Things like that. So we will spend it for things that we need. And then we also could save it. So basically you're saving the money, saving the time and energy that you have stored and put it away for later use. Usually pretty common. You do it through a bank account, and believe it or not, lots of parts in the world, like places like Southeast Asia, they don't have a bank account. Just put it in a box somewhere and just hide it. Okay, so that's saving it so that you could put it away for a later use. And then finally, you can invest it. Basically, you're letting your money grow when you invest. Okay, such as things like assets, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, silver. Lots of there are many instruments out there to grow your money. Also, I would like to throw in you could invest it in relationships as well. As the Bible said it before, a lot of our true treasures is in relationships. So you can actually invest it in other people using your money to grow relationships. And the fourth one, I just like to add onto this list. Again, the internet usually shows you 3: spend it, save it, invest it. So I think the fourth uses of money is actually squandering it. Basically, I looked it up online. It's the definition of squander something is to waste something, especially money or time, in a reckless or foolish manner. So I think that's a very good definition. I would put luxury items in this category. Luxury items is things that are very expensive, and then it just decreases in time as you use it. So basically, if you think of it as instead of getting a regular car, you get a luxury car, like a Mercedes-Benz. Nothing against Mercedes-Benz, okay? Any luxury car. The moment you drive it off the lot, it just drops by 30% or something like that. And then the longer you use it, slowly but surely that luxury car's value goes down to close to zero. Okay? Then you get say a luxury watch. Well, actually I'll argue that some luxury watches would go up in value. So, but a good amount of watches, like luxury watch, do decrease in value once you buy it and leave the store with it. Then you get a really nice cell phone. They will decrease in value. Anything really. Instead of a regular pair of Nikes, you want to get that Nike Air Max or something like that. That costs about $150 to $200. You wear it, decrease in value. So I think that's squandering it. So these are the uses of money. So I want to ask you guys a question. What do you do with your money? How do you squander it? Okay. No, that's a bad way of asking it. But what kind of things are you wasting? Okay. Have you squandered anything? Okay. Have you bought anything expensive that out of our needs and then it decreases in value over time? I'll give you a few examples of my mistakes in life. So when I was in high school, my friend from Japan, I got a friend from Japan, came back to the U.S. at that time, and over the summer he worked a summer job over there, and he bought himself an MD player. A lot of you guys don't know what an MD player is. Me growing up in the 90s, like this Japanese music audio technology is kind of taking the CD player and a Walkman and just kind of mush them together to be like this really quite small, handy mini disc player. You could actually have the so-called the CDR function at that time, and you could play music, and it was really cool. I saved up my money in the US, my allowances, whatever I could, and then I actually put my cash, $400, I think, $400 or $300 cash, I think it was $300, and I put it in a white envelope, and I actually mailed that money from the U.S. to my sister in Hong Kong to ask her to buy me one of these MD players and have her to mail it back to me in the U.S. So obviously that MD player went down in value. Basically nobody uses an MD player like even in the 2000s, especially when the iPod came out. Nobody used the MD player anymore, and that technology is like gone in like 4 or 5 years. Okay. Another example of mine is I used to drive a used Camry in college. Okay, it's like a family car. Like my parents don't use it anymore. I gave it to my brother. My brother don't use it anymore. Gave it to me. It was a perfectly fine car. It's a very nice car actually. I thought. Now thinking back at it, being a college student driving a Camry, but instead of keeping a Camry after graduation, I don't have a job yet. I just switched it to a Volkswagen Jetta just because I work part-time jobs and I saved up enough money for the down payment. It's like, oh, I want a Volkswagen Jetta because the commercial looks really nice. I love the speedometer and like all the dials on the dashboard's all blue and red. And it looks so cool on the inside. It looks good on the outside, And obviously I drove that for a little bit. The value went down. Actually, the quality wasn't all that good. Again, squandered away my money for things that I like, or not I like, but that I thought it's good, or luxury, I would say, compared to my Camry. Also, during my college years, some of my friends got together. It's like, hey, yeah, let's go to New York. For our, I forgot, was it like a spring break or something? I know it's a weird place to go for a spring break, but at that time I'd never been to the Big Apple, so I thought, well, why not? These guys are all going, we just share a hotel room, we'll cut costs and stuff like that. A plane ticket's not all that expensive to New York for spring break. So we did that. Lo and behold, other stuff in New York was actually quite expensive, so we spent on like nice food, did a little shopping, sightseeing, went up to the Statue of Liberty and stuff like that. And I came back and I got into credit card debt. I had to eventually ask one of my friends to like, hey, can I borrow like $500 for now and I'll pay you back? And it took me like 2 or 3 months of working part-time jobs to pay my friend back. So yeah, that's another big mistake that I had. So we always get mistakes, okay? I think what I'm trying to convey a message is that we have to know our mistakes in order to get ourselves back on track with our personal finances, okay? We must know our weaknesses, okay? I'm not saying that we should not spend anything on luxury items, but I think that spending money on luxury items should be like the smallest percentage of the 4. So you have spending it, saving it, investing it, and squandering it. So maybe buy something that you need, spending it, you use like say 30% of that money, or maybe a little bit more, I think, upwards to like 40% of your after-tax money. And maybe you spend like another 40 or maybe like 40% splitting it with investing and saving, and then the last 20% you could go ahead and not squander, but spend it on something that you enjoy, but not too over the top, right? So you could spend it on something like, go out to movies, maybe like a nice dinner or something like that to enjoy with your special someone, or just buy something a little bit something you like, but we have to really keep it in check, okay? We have to really keep it in check. And to end this, I want to go into a Bible verse here. This is from 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. It says that, for the love of money is root of all kinds of evil. Some people eager for money have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves against many griefs. So I think that's quite true. Sometimes it's the key word, I think, in this verse is the word love. Okay, for the love of money, not for the need of money, not for the like of money, not for the curiosity, but love. Love is such a strong word. There's so much intimacy and feelings and emotions tied in with that word, love. So when we love money, it's really kind of, we could say, like, cross the word money, I could say, like, for the love of luxury items, things that we don't really need, and it will make us do foolish things, okay? just for my example, really, with my trip to New York, it was, well, it wasn't like many griefs, but it was tough time. I really, at that time of my life, for a few months, I have to work. That's fine. I do part-time jobs when I was in college, but it was just that I really living on, like, when I go to fill up my gas tank, usually I fill it all the way up. At that point in time, I would fill it halfway up. I'll walk a little bit more. I would save a little bit more. I would not buy sodas from soda machine. I would just go to Walmart and get the cheap sodas. I forgot, instead of like Coca-Cola, it would be like cola, or instead of like Mountain Dew, it was like Mountain Lightning. Okay, I remember exactly. The soda is called Mountain Lightning, to save a buck here and a buck there, just to help me repay my friend. And I'm just very lucky in that situation where my friend was very nice, very supportive of me. And I learned a big lesson with that, because my interest rate for credit cards, like, I owned them like $500, and then they made me pay like what, $80 in interest for 1 month. So yeah, it's insane. So I really learned my lesson like that, and it did cause me some grief. But again, I was lucky that I made this kind of mistake when I was a kid in college, and I could actually made good with that. I have a friend with me for me to help me repay a debt. But again, it brings griefs, and it's sad to see, like, people. I mean, I've met people. They make about, say, US dollars, about over $1 million, but they end up spending over $1 million. Okay, so they at the end of the year, they really have nothing left. And some people say, like, oh no, well, then you just have to find a job or something to spend so that we make more money. But sometimes it's just not that simple. I've seen people that made more money just ended up spending more money, and then just as I said, they make $500,000, $1 million. They end up spending $500 to $1 million on luxury items, nice cars, nice house, nice food, and all the finer things in life. So I think this Bible verse, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, is a good way to look at money and luxury items in our lives, that it could be, the root of all kinds of evil. It makes us do like weird things at the end of the day, especially when we get into debt. Okay, my dad always told me, like, nobody wants to do bad things, but once they're pushed or got himself to like the edge of the cliff, and then have to fight, and they start doing some really weird stuff. They started lying, they started cheating, things like that. So that's it. So today I talked a little bit about money, the things you could do with money. So hopefully this gives us a little bit of an idea as we move forward about the types of spending and types of investments that I'll talk to you guys about in my later videos. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you again.